Tamir, I find you to be a fantastic CTO, but I also find you to be phenomenal when it comes to business acumen, leadership skills, strategy, just all the non-CTO insights that may come from you are of equal strength. So how is it that you've managed to upskill yourself in these areas, especially without really having had any professional work experience?
Yeah, so like coming straight out of university, I started at a startup. I've never worked underneath someone or worked for someone else, only ever built. And so a lot of it has been learning on the job. But again, it kind of comes back to what I was saying earlier with Call of Duty, is that I YouTubed it and Googled it and taught myself how to learn it on my own. The most impactful resource was the YC Startup School. When I was building Quillo at first, I would spend half of my day, okay, 100, it's pretty much 150% days. I'd spend 50% of my day coding the app, 50% of my day learning how to code the app, and the other 50% of the day just consuming content on how to build a startup, how to talk to users, how to think strategically, how to build an MVP, how to hire interns, how to think about fundraising. All of these things would be content I'll just start consuming on the side and then actively start applying as I was launching and building the product. And because I enjoyed it so much and because it was so much fun, it just kind of stuck. But yeah, there is an incredible amount of online resources. And we live in a world today where you do not need an MBA or a degree or a variety of these different accolades in order to actually build something in the real world. You just need an internet connection and motivation. And you can teach yourself pretty much anything.
So how to get people to do that? Because I mean, I find your business insights to be equally good, if not better, than most of my MBA classmates. And we all paid $200,000 for that degree, which you got for free on YouTube. So why is it that people still choose to pay that? Or let me ask you differently. Why is it that people aren't self-serving themselves at knowledge nowadays?
So one is to say there certainly is still value to a degree. In that, to say what's really important when it comes to having a Stanford MBA, or for myself, having graduated from like UCT, or anyone graduating from any university, is that you have a way of distinguishing yourself to anyone else. And you end up making it an easier job to differentiate yourself to employees, which is a really important thing. Society isn't yet ready to completely move away from university, and it's certainly still really important. However, having said that, answering the question on then why don't people self-learn? Why do people end up either needing very expensive courses to motivate themselves to do it, or just not do it? I think it will come down to a few things. Ultimately, it'll probably come down to having a strong enough why. That if I hear from a lot of people, a lot of my friends, oh, I did a Python course for a little bit. I started doing it for 2 hours a week. And then it kind of faded. It was cool. And I can't really remember anything I learned. That happens to a lot of my like non-technical friends that want to pick up coding. And then coding never really sticks for them because they don't have a strong enough why. They're just learning to code because they think it's the cool thing to do. And they think that they're going to have a certain thing that they're able to put on their CV. But that isn't going to motivate you as a human. For me, what drove me when I was building Quillo was there are millions of South African students that are lacking a meaningful education because they cannot afford their textbooks. And I have a platform that can make that more affordable and accessible. My learning how to code and my learning how to be a better business person is going to directly empower and enable those students. Very similar here at Strive as well. The grander mission of we want to make education joyful and meaningful is the push and the motivation to learn any of the things needed in order to succeed here. And so my advice to someone who's then wanting to learn something new, let's say coding, let's say startups, whatever it might be, is you need to find a strong enough why, and don't lie to yourself. If it is something flimsy, you're not going to stick with it. If it's something strong, if it's something that speaks to your core desires and motivations as a human, if it's something that you're able to like see an output and an end product in mind, then the process and the friction involved with learning new things becomes surmountable.